the redemption arc begins. Over the next year, Madison quietly rebuilt herself, not as a drama-fueled influencer, but as a tech advocate. She partnered with safety experts, spoke on panels about online accountability, and even toured Tesla's factories, sharing an inside look at their innovations. Her audience shifted, the trolls faded, and in their place came people who respected her humility and growth. And while she'd never returned to her old queen of drama persona, she had found something more valuable: purpose. As for Elon Musk, he never mentioned Madison again. But in private circles, he reportedly told colleagues, "Sometimes, the best lessons come from the loudest critics." And just like that, the influencer who once tried to take down Tesla became a symbol of falling, learning, and rising again. Because in the end, Madison Harper learned that power fades, but integrity lasts. Claire slid into a corner booth of the cafe, her oversized sunglasses concealing her face. She was careful not to draw attention, but her heart pounded with excitement. Barron Trump was seated just across the room, casually sipping an espresso while reading something on his phone. Two Secret Service agents hovered nearby, their earpieces barely visible. Claire adjusted her phone, which was tucked beneath her jacket, its camera aimed discreetly at Barron's table. She narrated softly under her breath, footage for a future exposé on her YouTube channel. Here he is, Barron Trump, the most mysterious member of the Trump family. What's he hiding? Why is the media protecting him? I'm about to find out. For nearly an hour, Claire documented everything. Every glance, every smile, every small interaction. At one point, Barron laughed quietly at a message on his phone. Claire zoomed in, but she couldn't catch what was on the screen. Frustrated, she decided to get closer. When Barron rose to leave, Claire seized the opportunity. She waited a beat, then followed him out the cafe door and onto the dimly lit Georgetown sidewalk. He walked with an easy confidence, his towering frame making him hard to miss. But Claire was good at blending in. Years of exposing political figures had taught her how to follow without being noticed. Or so she thought. After several blocks, Barron slipped into a private entrance of an upscale residential building. Claire hung back, heart racing. She could already picture the headlines. Liberal sleuth uncovers the truth about Barron Trump. Her audience would eat it up. But something felt off. As she turned to walk back to her car, a voice behind her made her freeze. "Miss Simmons." Claire's stomach dropped. She turned slowly to face a tall, stone-faced man in a dark suit. The silver badge gleaming on his belt confirmed her worst fear: Secret Service. I was just out for a walk," she stammered, trying to sound innocent. The agent tilted his head slightly, unimpressed. "We're aware of your online activity, and we know you've been following the president's son." Claire's pulse thundered in her ears. "I'm a journalist. I have a right to report public figures," she argued, though her voice trembled. The agent stepped closer, his presence both calm and intimidating. "Following a protectee of the United States Secret Service is not journalism, it's surveillance. And we take it seriously." Before Claire could respond, another agent appeared from the shadows, flanking her other side. She felt trapped, exposed in a way she never had been before. "You need to understand something," the first agent continued. "Every move you make, we see it. We know where you've been. We know who you talk to. You may think you're anonymous behind a screen, but nothing escapes our radar." Claire swallowed hard, her mouth dry. This wasn't a warning. It was a message, loud and clear. But she couldn't stop now. Not when she was so close to uncovering whatever secret Barron Trump might be hiding. "I'm just exercising my First Amendment rights," she insisted, lifting her chin defiantly. The agent's lips curved into a faint smile, but there was no humor in his expression. "The First Amendment doesn't give you the right to cross certain lines, Miss Simmons. Consider this your only warning." With that, both agents turned and disappeared into the night, leaving Claire shaken but not broken. As she hurried back to her car, she knew one thing for certain. If they were already watching her this closely, she had to be onto something, and no warning would stop her from finding out what. The encounter with the Secret Service rattled Claire more than she wanted to admit. For days, she kept a low profile. No more late-night walks in Georgetown. No more anonymous DMs to insiders. But her curiosity burned stronger than her fear. If they were that intent on shutting her down, there had to be something worth hiding. She doubled down. Claire upgraded her surveillance tactics. She invested in high-range zoom lenses and encrypted her online activity. She even hired a freelance hacker, someone known only as Shadowfox, to scrape metadata from public photos of Barron. Most of it was useless, but then she struck gold. A blurry, recently uploaded image showed Barron stepping into a sleek black SUV. Nothing unusual except for the building in the background. It wasn't the White House or any known Trump property. According to Shadowfox's analysis, the GPS tag pointed to a private medical facility just outside Arlington, Virginia. A hospital? What was Barron Trump doing there? Claire's mind raced with theories, some rational, some wild. Was he sick? Was there a hidden scandal? Whatever it was, she had to know. On a rainy March evening, she drove to the facility. It was a quiet, understated building, surrounded by high walls and guarded by a heavy security presence. She parked her car a block away and slipped through a gap in the fence. Her adrenaline surged as she crouched behind a row of hedges, camera in hand. At 8:47 p.m., the black SUV she'd been tracking pulled into the driveway. Barron stepped out, accompanied by 2 agents. He looked normal. No visible injury, no sign of distress. But why bring a former president's son to such a discreet location? Claire steadied her camera and clicked several photos, her breath quickening with each shutter snap. Then movement. A woman emerged from the facility. Tall, blonde, and dressed in a lab coat. Claire's heart nearly stopped. This wasn't a doctor. She recognized her immediately. Dr. Evelyn Monroe, a renowned geneticist known for cutting-edge work in advanced DNA therapy. Her research had been tied to secret government projects and classified experiments. What was she doing with Barron Trump? Claire's hands trembled as she captured the scene. If this was what she thought it was, it could destroy the entire Trump legacy. A sudden rustling behind her snapped her focus. She barely had time to react before a heavy hand gripped her shoulder. Miss Simmons. The voice was cold, familiar. The same agent who had warned her weeks ago. I'm not doing anything illegal, she blurted, trying to hide her camera. Stand up, he ordered. Claire obeyed, her heart thudding in her chest. 2 more agents emerged from the shadows. There was no use running. She was caught. You were told to back off, the agent continued, his tone icier than before. But you didn't listen. Claire opened her mouth to protest, but he cut her off. You've crossed a line. Now you're going to face the consequences. As the agents led her toward a black sedan, panic set in. She had played this game for years, exposing corruption, unraveling political secrets. But for the first time, she wondered if she had gone too far. And she had no idea how far the Secret Service would go to protect their secrets. The black sedan glided through the rainy DC streets, its tinted windows sealing Claire from the outside world. Her heart pounded against her ribs, but she forced herself to stay calm. This wasn't her first run-in with government officials, but something about the cold silence in the car unsettled her. The lead agent, the one who had caught her twice now, sat beside her. His face was unreadable. The other 2 agents flanked her in the back seat, their focus trained on her every twitch. Where are you taking me? Claire demanded, her voice steadier than she felt. You'll find out soon enough, the agent replied without a flicker of emotion. They pulled into an underground garage beneath a nondescript federal building. Claire's pulse quickened as the door locked behind them with a heavy clang. This wasn't a casual warning anymore, this was serious. The agents led her through a maze of hallways until they reached a small, windowless interrogation room. The air was cool, clinical. A single metal table stood in the center, surrounded by 3 chairs. Sit, the agent ordered. Claire dropped into the cold metal seat, her nerves fraying as the silence stretched. After a moment, the lead agent leaned forward, his piercing gaze meeting hers. Let's be clear, Miss Simmons, he began, his voice low and measured. You've interfered with the private affairs of a protectee of the United States Secret Service. That is not only reckless, it's illegal. I'm a journalist, Claire argued, though her voice trembled slightly. I have the right to investigate public figures. You're not a journalist, he countered. You're a provocateur, and you've crossed into classified territory. His words hit her like a slap. For all her bravado, Claire felt a chill creep through her veins. I wasn't doing anything dangerous, she insisted. I just wanted the truth. The agent leaned back, studying her with unsettling calm. You think you know the truth? He let the words hang in the air. You know nothing. Claire swallowed hard but stayed silent. For weeks we've watched you, the agent continued. Your anonymous accounts, your encrypted messages, your little hacker friend. Yes, we know about Shadowfox. He let that sink in before delivering the gut punch. We even know about the post you drafted but didn't publish, your theory about Barron Trump being involved in some secret medical experiment. Claire's stomach nodded. How did they know? You think you've uncovered a conspiracy, he said, his voice soft but sharp. But the truth is far simpler and far more dangerous. The agent stood and circled the table, his shadow falling over her. The building you staked out is a top-tier national security research center. Barron Trump isn't a patient. He's there because he's working with us. Claire blinked, stunned. Working with you? Correct. The president's son has an advanced understanding of quantum encryption technology. He's been assisting on a classified project to secure America's cyber defenses. Her mind raced to process the revelation. This wasn't the story she had imagined. It wasn't corruption, it was something else entirely. The agent continued, his tone hardening. By tailing him, you've exposed yourself and compromised our security measures. Do you have any idea how dangerous that is? Not just for you, but for national safety. Claire opened her mouth but had no words. For the first time in her career, she realized she might have overstepped in a way she couldn't fix. Here's what happens next, the agent said, returning to his chair. We could charge you under federal law for interfering with a classified operation. You'd lose your career, maybe your freedom. He paused, letting the weight of that reality sink in. Claire's blood turned cold. Was this it? Was her entire life about to unravel? But, he added, we're giving you a choice. Claire's breath hitched. A choice? The agent nodded. You walk away. No more surveillance. No more anonymous digging. And you never mention what you've learned tonight. In return, we forget you were ever here. A heavy silence hung between them. Claire's instinct to expose the truth clashed with a new, gnawing fear. These people weren't playing games. If I say no? She asked quietly. The agent's gaze hardened. If you refuse, we arrest you. And trust me, no viral post is going to save you from the consequences. Claire's hands clenched into fists beneath the table. This wasn't a debate she could win. No clever video edit or exposé could protect her from the government's iron grip. I want your answer now, the agent pressed. Walk away or face the fallout. Claire's heart pounded as the weight of her decision settled over her. The fearless part of her wanted to push further, but the rational part, the part that valued her life, knew there was only one real choice. I'll walk away, she whispered, her voice barely audible. The agent gave a slow, satisfied nod. Good. And Miss Simmons. His voice dropped to an icy murmur. If we ever see you near Barron Trump again, you won't get another warning. The message was clear. Without another word, the agents escorted her back to her car, releasing her into the cold DC night. As she drove home in silence, the reality of what had just happened settled over her. For once, Claire Simmons, the relentless truth seeker, had found a secret too dangerous to expose. Days passed, but the weight of the Secret Service's warning hung over Claire like a shadow. She had spent her career exposing the hidden truths of the powerful. But for the first time, she had encountered a wall too high to climb. Her inbox overflowed with messages from her followers. Any updates on Barron Trump? Why did you go silent? Did the government get to you? Claire's fingers hovered over her keyboard more than once, tempted to spill everything. But she knew better. The agents had made their position clear. If she crossed the line again, there would be no second chances. Still, the itch to uncover the full truth didn't fade. Late at night, she found herself replaying the agent's words. You know nothing. Had she only scratched the surface? If Barron Trump was helping with a classified cyber project, how deep did the operation go? What secrets was the government keeping? And why was a 6 feet 7 inches teenager at the center of it all? One evening, after pacing her apartment for hours, she made a decision. If she couldn't publish the story outright, she could still protect herself. Claire powered up her encrypted laptop and began documenting everything, the surveillance, the facility, the interrogation. She saved multiple copies to hidden drives and handed one to a trusted contact overseas. If anything happened to her, the world would know the truth. But no one ever came for her. Weeks turned into months, and Claire quietly pivoted her content. She shifted focus to safer political topics, corporate greed, social policy, and local corruption, careful to steer clear of anything related to the Trumps or national security. Her audience noticed the shift, but only a handful suspected why. Despite her caution, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was still being watched. Sometimes, while grabbing coffee or jogging through the park, she spotted familiar figures in the background. An agent's face she recognized, a black SUV idling too long at a street corner. It wasn't paranoia. It was a reminder. The message had been delivered. You got too close once. Don't do it again. Yet part of her still wondered. Why had the government let her walk away? If Barron's work was as sensitive as they claimed, why give her a choice at all? Maybe it was a warning to others. Or maybe, just maybe, there were secrets even the government didn't want to bury too deep. One day, while sorting through her digital archives, Claire found the last image she'd captured outside the Arlington facility. It was slightly blurred, but there was no mistaking it. Dr. Evelyn Monroe handing Barron a sealed silver briefcase. Her finger hovered over the delete button, but she hesitated. Instead, she tucked the image away in her most secure drive. She wasn't sure if she'd ever return to the mystery, but if she did, she wanted to be ready. As Claire closed her laptop, she realized the truth of the lesson the Secret Service had taught her. Curiosity had a cost.